it was great when I was a kid. I mean, all of the kids in my neighborhood attended Lothrop Elementary. We didn't, I guess, pay much attention to the fact that the facilities weren't up to the highest standard. For example, for kindergarten through first grade, we didn't actually attend class in the Lothrop School building. We attended class in a church that sat on the corner of 24th and Pinckney.
It was interesting. It was a racially diverse school, very lively. It was a fun school. Playground, park not too far away. It had a lot going on.
Yes, I started at Lothrop, and Lothrop only went to third grade at that time, and then so when I went to third grade, I went to fourth at Skinner. At that age, I didn't know that it was a magnet school. To me, it was just like the new school. It was brand new. So, I mean, everything was fresh. I feel real good about being able to be like some of the first kids in the school. So that's how I identify with it.
I remember the first day that, some kids cry the first day of school, that they've ever been in school, but I was excited to be there. So there was no crying for me and others. We were just happy to be there and get to know new people. So.
My experience at Lothrop was so impactful, and the teachers I had at Lothrop were so impactful that by the third grade, I had decided that I was going to become a teacher, and that's what I went to get my undergraduate degree in, was education.
I was lucky to have the principals at the schools were all African-American males that I was able to look up to.
Inside the classroom, I remember Mrs. McCormick, my third grade teacher. I guess if you got to go someplace you weren't excited to go to, she was an excellent person to have as a first teacher in that building. And she still stops by Davis Middle School, where I'm principal currently, and she stops by and sees me all the time. So it's kind of neat that we still have contact.
And even like after school, like the friends in the neighborhood, you had them in class with you, and after class, you were able to play on the playground till the street lights came on. So it was like family with a lot of my friends, because we all grew up in the same area and played and got along outside of school.
The friendships that I developed, especially a man named Ronald Felix, we really got to be close at that school. And those are the things I remember the most.
And I don't remember what grade I was in. I don't know if it was first grade or second grade, but I remember them announcing that we wouldn't stay at our current school. And I really have built some strong bonds. And then remember when we got separated at Franklin, we all didn't go to the same school. They sent us to multiple schools, and I can't tell all the schools my friends went off the top of my head, but I remember on that first day when we were on those buses and leaving our neighborhood, I remember seeing some of our friends on other buses going different directions. So I remember getting up really early, and I was a third grader, so however old a third grader was at that time, and I remember being exhausted by the time the end of the day came. And I remember falling asleep on the bus a lot, coming back, not going, but coming back after a long day. And I remember it probably taking us, I don't know, it probably took us about 25 minutes to get there from, my neighborhood pickup. So
There was, not far from Lothrop Grade School, was a company called Reed's Ice Cream, and they made ice cream, but they also had a front part where they sold, ice cream, and you could go in there, and I never didn't realize as a kid until I went down to Reed's one day, and there was protests going on, and Reed's Ice Cream was located in a predominantly African American community, and they didn't hire African Americans. And there was a group called 4CL that was picketing Reed's Ice Cream, demanding that they open up their employment.
Well, even before Monmouth Park, I went to a school called Lake, and that was on right where you have 20th and Lake, right on that boulevard coming off of Florence. And that was the school that I went to for a year before I went to Monmouth Park. And my father was a custodian there. One of the things that was interesting, I wish I could have brought a picture, it's in the World Herald, where Bob Gibson, the Hall of Fame pitcher, was there. We were honoring him. He had just, in 1967, I was 6 years old, and the St. Louis Cardinals had beat the Boston Red Sox in 7 games, and he was the MVP. He won 3 games, game 1, 4, and 7. And so he was honored, and I was one of the students that was there. And when you went to Lake, you had to wear like a tie and a shirt and slacks. And there I was in my tweed jacket with my tie on, and my father was adjusting the microphone for him. And I was stunned when they put that picture back. That's my father. That's me.